doing, What DPC? It's your boy Jake, Ziggy Num Nums, coming from my bitchin' little kitchen. And today, I'm trying something a little new. Got a new headpiece I'm trying out. I don't hate it. I toyed with the idea of trying a new form of hat for a while. And, I've been known to wear the ball cap most of the time. And thought I'd try a throwback. And anybody that knows me knows I'm very awkward socially, especially when in public. I don't like to attract the gaze of people I don't know, of just public randoms. So, while at a Target recently, I saw a hat similar to this sitting on a shelf, and I'm like, well, got a hat. Is there a mirror nearby? Got a mirror. Is anybody watching? No. I'm going to try it on. So I tried it on. Didn't hate it. But I didn't like the one they had. So I ordered one. Took a gamble. And, it's not bad. Currently smoking Sutliff Match Nightcap in the 1970 something Byford apple. It's almost gone. I have tapped out the ash, tried relighting a couple of times, but it just might be toasted. And yes, I'm smoking inside. I don't do it very often, but y'all, it is gross outside. It is real gross. Low 30s. It's raining. It's snowing. It's blowing. Whatever sort of weather system is floating over Chicago right now, it is having a bit of an identity crisis. And it doesn't know what it wants to do or who it wants to be, so it's just doing a little bit of everything. Just throwing things out there and trying to figure itself out. And I don't really support it. But hey, what are you going to do? Getting to that time of year where it just sucks to be outside. Beverage pairing tonight, a bit of cider light, aka about a 60-40 mix of cider and lager, because they're both just a little too much on their own. Angry Orchard, just a touch sweet for my liking on its own, but it's very readily available. And recently, just for nostalgia's sake, I got some Busch, and it just doesn't taste like anything to me anymore. But mix the two together, balance each other out. Not so bad. Prost. Ow. What else is going on? I've also recently made internet acquaintances with book-loving Piper. We talked a little bit back and forth about Molina pipes and a little bit about Burley blends and stuff like that. And been talking a little more recently about literature. She asked if I had gotten into Billy Budd yet, and I had not, because Billy Budd was just going to tide me over until I found a copy of Moby Dick. Well, as I was reading through that Melville collection, including Billy Budd, the girlfriend spotted a copy of Moby Dick while we're out at the bookstore. So this is the one I have now. This copy is from the 60s. It's an annotated version, which is kind of cool, because there are some references I don't really understand. But unfortunately, also, you can tell it's been a student copy. Like, people have bought this to get through a lit course and then donated or sold it. So there are also, like, distracting little notes here on the side that are sometimes amusing and sometimes distracting. Like the part where, spoiler alert, early in the book when our protagonist, oh God, what's his name? I've forgotten his name. Ishmael. That was my first guess. I was right. I just didn't verbalize it. When Ishmael and Queequeg, the so-called cannibal harpooner, share a bed, this guy makes a note: homosexual overtones. Well, for starters, this book was written in, 1870 something. It's an old ass book, and this is back when it was very common for men to share a bed. Men, children, women, and men, just people shared beds. It happened just out of necessity, and also Ishmael calls back to a time of discomfort in his childhood, and then somehow the person that had this before me thinks that that makes him sound gay. I think that's looking a little too deep into it, just because people have thoughts of discomfort or comfort in certain situations doesn't necessarily mean anything. But that's just me. But with the annotated version, there are little parts down on the bottom where sometimes a phrase is said or a term is used. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell that means. Oh, look, there's a note at the bottom. Awesome. To where I think if I read a version that didn't have that, I probably would have missed on some things. Because I'm just recently getting myself back into reading. Especially like actual fiction like this. The classics, when vocabulary was different. It was a different time. There were different references, different tones, different senses of humor. And how I feel about Melville so far is I did read some short stories previous to this. I read Bartleby the Scrivener, the one about the rooster. Shit. What's that called? Cock-a-doodle-doo, or The Crowing of the Noble Cock Beneventano. That one. My pipe is spent, and I'm a little bit upset about it. Carry on. So, with reading Melville, the works of Herman Melville, to me, Melville is kind of like deep dish pizza. I thoroughly enjoy it. It fulfills things that maybe I think I need. Deep dish as in, well, it's very filling and just very delicious. Melville's writing, it fulfills a need for the sense of adventure. I live a repetitive life in a small world. Though I'm in a big city, my little environment seems very enclosed. So when I read Melville's works, it like takes me off somewhere, which is why I got into these, the whole nautical thing, and I just want to feel like I was somewhere else, which is great. But deep dish pizza, I gotta be real hungry for it. I gotta be ready for it, just like I have to be ready for reading Melville. He has a vocabulary, and he really liked to use it. When I'm reading Melville, I feel like I'm chewing words. Like I'm just, every time I skip, through a sentence, I feel like I've taken a bite and I need to chew it and swallow, and it really is a lot to digest. Kind of, facetiously, metaphorically, physically, factually. There's a lot going on. And I I don't necessarily want deep dish pizza every day, and I can't really eat or read Melville every day. It's just a lot. But it's good. Moby Dick has been a thoroughly entertaining piece so far. I have already gotten that sense of satisfaction in needing some sort of adventure out of it. You know, they've just set sail. They're on the boat. There have been all sorts of interesting little incidents along the way and happenings, and there's Queequeg's little idol that he likes to pray to. He has the tomahawk tobacco pipe that he likes to smoke, and he shares with Ishmael, and there's cool stuff going on. It's just a whole hell of a lot to deal with. But I think that's all the rambling I got in me tonight. I had some free time, some thoughts on my mind, and a little free space on my phone. Figured, hey, shoot a vid. It's been a minute since I've done it. So I think I'm going to drink a little more. And Frontier Season 3 has just come to Netflix. I just finished watching the first episode of Season 3, and I think I'm going to get back to that because I've been itching for it to come out. I was just talking about it to the girlfriend the other day, and I'm real glad it's back. So I'm going to pack myself another pipe, probably pour myself another drink because I'm an animal with no self-control. And until next time, thanks for watching, listening, and happy smokes to y'all. Take care, stay warm if you're dealing with some crappy weather like me. Pack an umbrella, get yourself some good boots. You know, hey, it's a jungle out there. Y'all take care.